What's up, people? Class is in session. This is Professor Ganymede. In this video, I'm actually going to be doing a VOD review of someone who frequents my stream, Exist. I'm actually going to be doing VOD reviews pretty consistently now, so I have a Discord channel, and I'm going to drop the link in the description below. Drop your VOD review, your VOD in the Discord, and I'll get to them. Let's just get to it. Let's break it down. Let's break it down! Alright, so let's watch this game here. We got Exist. Alright, he gonna run up with his hands on his junk rat. Bam, shooting the all 4 headshots. That was actually really good. There he sees the tracer going on the left, and he moves to follow the tracer, knocks her back, harasses her, and she has to back up. That was actually really good that he chased her down into that room because she was by herself. And then he was shooting at the Reinhardt at the shield. That's nice. Now he's actually going behind the Reinhardt, shooting him in the back and knocking him for it. That's actually really good because his team should be able to capitalize on their tank bank split up, and they did. Like his team, totally murked 3 people there. So that was actually good. And let me pause. I want to talk about that. The reason that was so good was because their team doesn't have a McCree and a Roadhog, which means they don't have characters to really punish him for doing that kind of aggressive, backline play in the enemy's backline and going behind Reinhardt, shooting him in the back and knocking him for it and separating from his team. They don't have characters to really punish him for doing that, so he should be looking for those opportunities to split up the enemy team and harass them and all that stuff. So that was actually really good. He said this is a silver match. This guy is pretty good. Now we're going to look at target prioritization. Alright, so there's a Mercy and a Ryan on the point. There's a Genji. He's just got the right click on him. One thing, and he's just kind of a little being evasive here. There's a Mercy, and he's shooting at the Diva, and now he's trying to shoot the Genji. Okay, and now he's back on the Reinhardt. Okay, and then now his team has pushed him off. Okay, so decent. He survived on the point. He was contested. That was really good. One thing that I would say is a little bit more focus on specific target prioritization. So at that point, you had you had a Mercy, you had a Reinhardt, had a Genji, and a Diva. I noticed that he used the knockback on the Genji when Genji wasn't really doing anything. Genji was just there, and he happened to use a knockback on the Genji. That's kind of like a reactive thing, kind of an instinctual reaction to seeing Genji, just because you can knock him back. But Genji is not gonna go anywhere. Unless you see when Genji's doing some specific thing, he's dashing forward to kill someone, or he's trying to get somewhere, you don't want him to get there. Then knockback doesn't really accomplish much with Genji, because he can double jump and control his movement, and he has a dash and everything. If you see him dashing at your Mercy, for example, that's when you knock him back, because so that hinders his ability to do damage. But if he's just there jumping around, no real reason to knock him back, especially when there's a Reinhardt on the point. That's the person you want to knock back, because he really wants to get in position to do his damage. And I do this too. It's just kind of it's extra 25 damage. Now, if you're gonna knock him back and then shoot at him so you can track his trajectory, that's good. But I don't think that's what was going on. Now, one thing I want to notice is there was a Mercy on the team, and she was pretty much untouched during that fight because there was focus on Diva, there was focus on Reinhardt, especially for Diva. If Mercy's alive, that's the person you should be trying to kill because you're really good at killing her. And while she's alive, you're not killing anyone really, as long as she's healing properly. So Mercy is probably going to be your target prioritization. And then in that point, probably Reinhardt, because you can harass him so well because he's so slow. You can shoot Reinhardt in the back and he really can't do anything about it. But you can go to Genji as well if you think you can actually kill him. If you think you're good enough to kill him, go to Genji or Reinhardt. But Mercy definitely is probably who you want to prioritize first. And then if someone comes to reinforce, because you didn't use your right click on Genji, you could probably knock them back. You know, if Reinhardt turns around and reinforces Mercury, you can knock them back with the right click. So when you even though right click is on the short cooldown, you still want to make sure you're accomplishing something important with the right click. You know, something instead of just doing it just to do it, which is what I think looked like what happened. And that was just, you know, that was just unlucky there. But you know, how could we have prevented that? You know, it's a bummer that, you know, the Junkrat got stuck and you're right next to him, and that's really hard to predict with Tracer because, you know, she has her Tracer ult so fast. But try anyway. One thing that you could do is be aware of the enemy team's ultimate. You know that Tracer builds her ult really fast. It's about 2 minutes into the game. Pretty much the entire enemy team, you should assume, has their ults by now, which means you should be in position to not get hit. For Tracer, that just means being elevated or being away from your teammates. Like not being right next to them, or being in an elevated position is probably the best way to know that you can dodge the Tracer bomb. That works for Reinhardt's ultimate as well. Just not being right next to them, so you know she doesn't get 2 group kills. So that's what you can do when you see, like, okay, it's a minute and a half, it's 2 minutes into the game. People probably have their ults. I should probably start playing as if people have their ults. Brrr. Getting the speed buff, good. That Junkrat didn't go anywhere. There's the hammer down. Alright, it's coming to do the knockback. See, that's a good knockback. Knockback on the Tracer because Tracer does her damage up close. That's a really good knockback. And then shoot the Reinhardt in the back. Good. That's what I like to see. Just shooting in general now. Like shooting at a D.Va isn't really a great use of your time because D.Va has armor and stuff. Like D.Va is the person you do the least amount of damage to. Now, if you had, if you don't have your ultimate, then D.Va might be a good person to target because you could like build your ult off of shooting at her. If there are no other better targets, but of course there's a mercy in that point. Now it's really hard to focus targets while you're trying to just not die. So I don't say it was too bad what you're doing. You just kind of you're mostly prioritizing not dying, and with that many people on the point, you're most likely not going to kill the mercy, especially with the Reinhardt there. So I'm not gonna. I like what you're doing here though. Like that you're just kind of constantly shooting Reinhardt in the back. But you see Mercy's alive, like you're not going to kill that Reinhardt. But you're actually, this is actually really funny what you're doing. That's hilarious. I guess it was just a little bit delayed. There should have been a knockback there, but that just takes a little bit of better reflexes. But yeah, you definitely could have knocked that Reinhardt back. That was actually a little cheeky thing you were doing to delay the point there. That was funny. I like to see that. If you can pull it off, as long as you have the movement and the ability to escape once they figure out what you're doing. It might, once you get to higher rank, it's probably not going to be worth it to do that because your team is you're gonna want to be next to your team to make plays with them. But in this rank, yeah, if it works, it works. All right, so now you're controlling the Tracer. I like to see that you're controlling the Tracer because you're really good at fighting Tracer. Because even if you can't kill her, you'd rather her be trying to kill you. Because you see, Tracer just took out your Mercy, so you want her to be attacking you instead of someone more squishy. This is okay. He's trying to get the knockback. Okay, let me just rewind that. Let me see that entire fight. What we could have been doing better there. So. I'm gonna go back and we see the Roadhog, see the Reinhardt. Probably wanted to add some heals. Okay, let me do a breakdown of this. So there's the Tracer. That's good. All good stuff there. Knocking the okay. Then you're shooting down the damages. There you go. Knock her away again. That's what I like to see. That Reinhardt, your goal right now. Okay, so you've had your amp for a while here. You're decent at healing tanks now. That's like the one thing you can still do. You should probably be trying to amp that Reinhardt at this point, or even trying to save your Roadhog. Like, you knock the Tracer back and you're just kind of staying on the point. With Lucio's range, you want to be a little bit more active and like right next to your team. Like, you should probably be either amping your Reinhardt or running it and trying to save your Roadhog. I'd probably say trying to save your Roadhog because Reinhardt's going to be behind this shield. And if you can't save your Roadhog, we'll come back and try to heal the Reinhardt. And by saving him, I mean running forward with the speed buff, not the speed up, but the speed buff, using this wall, using this payload, and maybe this wall to bounce off and get some momentum, and then jumping forward and either body blocking the bullets coming his way while as you try to heal him, or knocking the person away and also body blocking it, and just annoying the person he's fighting. Like, he's fighting a Reinhardt. No, he's fighting a soldier. You potentially could have saved his life if you reacted fast enough. Though it was really sketchy, but you can definitely heal this Reinhardt right now. Mercy's healing her. Good. Mercy's healing the Reinhardt. Out. Yeah. Mercy's healing right. You could have added to that or sped up. Or like if you started amping and then saw that the Reinhardt was going to be hitting by Mercy, then you could switch to speed amp and go for it to save the Reinhardt, Roadhog. So there's options. With a little bit more active play style there, and then you ate that fire strike. One thing I like to do to avoid those is be hyper aware of the cooldown of the fire strike, because you don't want to be eating those. Like that's one of very few ways that Reinhardt builds his ultimate, and you do not want to be contributing to the enemy Reinhardt building his ultimate, and also you don't want to be taking random chunks of 100 damage, because that puts you. That puts you in a position where you're caring more about your own survivability than the survivability of your team. And even though Lucio is no longer support, he still has the ability. He still is a character with good support abilities. So it's a distinction there. You still are. You still can support your team even though you're not a support character. And the same like Soldier and May and Symmetric can. They have in Zarya they have support abilities. You don't want to be taking random damage, because then you have less you can do for your team. There you go. Okay, now, so you hear the I guess you're on your sides. Now, that you don't Otis media is good, because you see you have a Reinhardt with a shield. Reinhardt shield is good at shutting down as long as everyone's standing behind Reinhardt shield. That Tracer kills the Mercy, and then your Junkrat kills their Mercy. And right now, it's pretty even here. So let's see when you should look at this. Somehow, the Pharah dies to Roadhog, to Soldier. So I would say you probably want to use the sound barrier here. Just to use it. I mean, it's only 2 minutes left. You probably want to use the sound barrier. Especially if you know you have a Pharah. So this comes with, like, choosing to use the sound barrier here just comes with knowing your team. Yeah, you have a Reinhardt, but is everyone going to be behind that Reinhardt shield? Not with the Pharah on your team. At least not with the Pharah on your team. And then he kills your Junkrat. Because your team is just not behind the Reinhardt shield. So I think choosing to do the sound barrier here is not, well, you're trying to keep yourself safe, but instead of looking at the soldier, I would actually try listening for him with your ears while looking around your team to see who would need your sound barrier, because he just got this was a huge ult, and you needed to ult, but more importantly, you needed to know that you needed to ult, which you could only do by looking around and being aware of your team and being aware of your team's position as well. Which you should be, which you need to be hyper aware of, especially since the changes, because your radius is so low. So you pretty much need to know where everyone is if you're going to help them. So yeah, sound barrier was definitely needed here. But it's definitely hard to tell when that sound barrier is indeed needed. But I got you on my sides. Oh, the epic res. Can you get the? Okay. Oh, that was okay. You got the Reinhardt. That's nice. Don't die. Don't die. Yeah, quarter clap. Chest it. Chest it. Feels good. That's what I like to see. These guys are boss. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Now you're on Mercy. See, and you forced the res out of here. I don't know if you forced the res, but you're on her. You're putting pressure on her. That's what I like to see. There you go. Get that heal. Alright, necking back the Tracer. That's what I like to see. Try to reduce her damage. And, almost. You really... And then there's the Genji. Getting the knockback on Genji. Nice. Genji could not kill. Oh, you can... come on. Come on. Oh, but you got the Demon Mac. Good. This is all pretty good prioritization. What are you going to do right now? What are you doing? Okay. Oh, yeah. That you just want to be... The Heatless Rocket is very dangerous. You just want to be aware of those. But you barely even saw the guy. But one thing is... That was all really good. You're stalling. You're on the Tracer, knocking back the Tracer. Really good use of that knockback because Tracer wants to be... She doesn't like being out of position. You focused on D.Va, which was, again, with the Mercy right next to her, you most likely want to be focusing on the Mercy because she's just, like, it's hard. It's just so much harder to kill the team when the Mercy's around. She heals 60 heals per second. That's a lot of heals. That like, constantly. Like, she doesn't have to aim it like Ana does. She just, all the time, heals 60 heals per second, and she has a really important ult that she's going to be building while she's alive. So you want to be on that Mercy. And then if you're aiming properly, like if you're not jumping around, if you're like actually aiming at her face and hitting her, like you can kill her in like less, you know, in less than two clips. Even if you don't hit headshots, you can hit her with 2 clips, and then I don't know the damage, but you can kill her really fast. So you should be on that Mercy first of all. But you try to get the knockbacks are all good. Once you try to go for those knockbacks on cooldown, focus the Mercy. Because Mercy OP. Alright, now what is going on here? Who is that? I don't know, but good knockback, the good control on that Tracer. Let's see. You should be okay. You should be on the point right now. Yeah. Can you knock off that soldier? Okay. That's one thing. That's definitely it. Okay. One thing about Lucio's kit is that, especially on this bridge, you want to be looking for knockbacks. That should be your #1 priority of getting into this thing and then trying to find someone to knock back. What should have happened is like a speed buff, and then you should have tried to knock, you know, as many people if you can off the bridge. Because, I mean, after the buff, the knockback is ridiculous. Like, if you can knock someone off the map, I mean, that's killing them. That's as good as killing them. And you want to make people dead. Like, if you're not going to be securing kills as Lucio, like I said, you are not going to be winning and carrying these games. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's why Lucio is no longer support. His ability to win relies on his ability to secure kills by himself. Like, regardless of what your team does, you need to be getting kills. Like, this is the thing. This is the time where you yourself, on your own, Lucio, needed to get kills. Without your team. Without whatever your team is doing, you need to get these kills. And you probably could have held it there. If you would have killed, like, knocked Soldier off the map and then killed someone else, which you probably could have done, because knocking Soldier off the map would have been easy cake. He wouldn't have had this ultimate. You probably could have focused on Mercy if you had better aim. Which, again, you have to be able to, like, hit your shots and be a DPS if you're gonna carry these games. And you'd still be alive, and this point wouldn't be going past to where it was. So that's why I tell you, Lucio's not a support. If you want to carry, you gotta kill people. Just like Mei, just like Symmetra, he's a person with support abilities, but that doesn't make him a support. Nice knockback. Nice knockback. Alright, that knockback is on cooldown. You want to try to knock him off? Yeah, good. That's what I like to see. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Get that kill. Get that freaking... That was clutch. That was freaking clutch. That was... freaking clutch. That was clutch. All right, I'm just gonna do one round for time's sake. But hopefully those tips were helpful. I'm gonna go back to my face. Alright, so hopefully those tips were helpful. Again, I'm going to be doing VOD reviews from now on, so if you guys want your VOD reviewed, I will put my link to the Discord, to my Discord channel in the description and in the comments probably as well. Drop your videos, your links in that Discord channel. It's much easier to track, so I know who came first. And then if you want to participate in the Discord channel, I'm trying to make this into a more of a community, and I'll be participating. I'll be pretty active in the Discord channel as well. So if you want to talk to people who are also support mains, bounce some ideas and just make some more friends, check out my Discord channel. This has been Professor Ganymede. Thank you, Exist, for dropping that VOD. Hopefully that review was helpful to you. Thanks for watching. Class dismissed.